Hey everybody, it's Georgia Farming and Flu Vlog. It's the end of July. Here's a quick update on the banana. Sorry it's been so long between updates. I've been traveling, been pretty busy with work, but here's the latest. This is the Dwarf Namwa. It still has not flowered, unfortunately, but it is now, let's see, at least 9 feet tall to where the leaves are starting to come out. So we have got to be any leaf now. One thing that I'm really tracking here is there's this bulge at the bottom. You can kind of see like right here. And I might just be biased, but it seems to be moving up since the last tracked it over the last week. So we're gonna go ahead and measure it right now and then see if we can track it over the next week or so, see if that moves up. This potentially could be the flower moving inside. Let me grab the tape measure. From the side over here, looks to be right around 2 feet, 24 inches. So over the next week, I'll track that, see if it's moving up, and hopefully that's the actual flower. That means there's probably just 1 or 2 more leaves that are coming out. The leaf that's starting to come out right now, you can see it up there. It's pretty big. It does have like a reddish tint to it, and flag leaves can be slightly different in color, but I still don't think this is the flag leaf. Just looking at how big it is right now, I can see at least 4 feet of it or so. So we've got at least 2 more leaves before the flower, but hopefully this is it and it's making its way up and we're close. Give you a better view here. You can kind of see it. Maybe I'm just being overly optimistic, but last year when I cut this one down, the flower was coming out. And I didn't even notice it till I cut it down, and it was shorter than this. So this is Gen 2, so it's getting more to its mature height. But remember, this is a dwarf Namwa, so it really shouldn't go past 10 feet before fruiting. Last year, I had my double Mahoy that fruited around beginning of October. And we had enough time with the warm weather to get the bananas pretty much out and fully developed, but just not ripened yet. And so I'd say we're gonna need at least 1 extra month. So if we can get this to fruit in July, or in August, I mean, then I think we're in pretty good shape to actually have them ripen, or at least have them in a state where we can take them off and have them ripen inside. It's really the getting them fully developed and starting getting like fatter. That's the hardest part. And you need about 2 full months for that to happen. And we're getting pretty close. I definitely would have thought it had flowered by now, but this is just getting bigger and bigger. And you know, this may end up not being a variety that's possible to really grow and, you know, actually eat the fruit in Atlanta, but we'll see. But that's why we have the other ones. So the double Mahoy, remember this one did not survive the greenhouse. And so we started from just a tiny little pup, and it's already 5 feet tall. And this one fruited around this height last year. So we're also kind of in a foot race here between the double Mahoy and the Dwarf Namwa. Dwarf Namwa, remember, was 2/3 of the size because it survived the greenhouse. This one did not, but we're really close. This is a really fast grow. This is probably going to be kind of my staple producer every year. On the other hand, just some other updates here. I ended up removing all the pups. There was a pretty big pup on this backside. It had gotten up to about 5 or 6 feet. And I think it just gotten so big, along with some other ones, that it was just taking a lot of the energy and nutrients. So I cut everything off to give this the best chance to put all the energy towards fruiting. And we're gonna see what it does. You know, it might come back to bite us for next year because we don't have any developed pups that we can keep over the winter. But, you know, we're going all in for this year. That's what we wanna see. As for my last one, the Venti Coalhole, it's doing pretty well. You know, I will say that I'm a little disappointed in the, you know, how fast this one is going. Remember, this is Gen 1, so this is the one that, you know, I got out of a tiny little seedling basically from Wellspring Gardens. So the first generation always is the slowest. As you can see, the double Mahoy went from a tiny little pup all the way up to here in just a couple months. Whereas this one, I've been growing it since May in a pot, and then this year in the ground. It is starting to take off a little bit, but I think next year is really going to be where we take a pup up that we'll get to see the true fastest banana fruiting. happen and be able to judge that. But for now, you know, I don't see any way that this one fruits this year, at least in a way that we can harvest the fruit. But we'll see. You know, I think it really depends on how tall it fruits at. So this one's about the same height. It's about, this one's maybe a little higher, about 6 feet tall. So, you know, maybe it fruits at 7 feet tall and we get it really early, but I don't think so, just because if you look at how skinny it is compared to the other ones, you know, this one's really fat. And so you can tell that it's starting to get ready to fruit, just like the ratio. This one's pretty fat too. I don't know, maybe I'm making that up, but it seems like this is gonna be a really tall one and it's not anywhere near fruiting, but maybe it's just a variety and we'll see. Maybe this will be the one that shocks us and actually fruits first. I have no idea. And then finally, we have the Truly Tiny. This one just keeps going. Remember, this one actually can fruit, but it's really inedible. It's just kind of ornamental. We got a couple little pups in there. We're gonna leave those on for now. This one, it just keeps on putting out more and more leaves. It's doing really well. I'm not gonna prune this one up right now and let it keep going. This one we're probably just gonna bring indoors this winter and then just see where it goes. I've never seen one of these kind of grow to full height, so I'm curious as to how far it keeps going. You know, hopefully after, you know, this summer we can kind of get an estimate for how tall each of these varieties are for when they fruit. So that we can try and, you know, best optimize our path going forward. But overall, I'm really impressed with all of these, especially the double Mahoy. I think this one, you know, if you're in Atlanta or another, you know, non-tropical region, I would highly suggest getting the double Mahoy, or essentially just a dwarf Cavendish. These things grow really fast, and I started from nothing. The pup was this big, you know, just like 3 months ago, and we're already close to fruiting height. So this is gonna be a great opportunity for you to go ahead and get some fruit in one of those tropical areas. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's George Farming and Flu Vlog. I'm gonna make sure to keep you guys updated a lot more often. I know I keep saying that, but this is for real. It's the Dwarf Namwa. Hopefully fruits over the next couple of weeks, and then we'll track it. I've got some bags that we're gonna put over the fruit to make sure the bugs can't get to them. But I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, you know, we get a couple of these to fruit this summer. Thanks for watching. See ya.